In the aftermath of World War II, the global stage was set for a new kind of conflict and discovery. The victors of the war, primarily the Allied nations, turned their attention to the uncharted and enigmatic regions of the world, including the icy expanse of Antarctica. While much of the focus was on rebuilding and reorganizing post-war society, a parallel effort was underway to explore and map the last great unknowns of the planet. Among these were the frosty reaches of the Antarctic continent, a place as mysterious as it was remote. The southern hemisphere's icy continent had long been a point of fascination for explorers and scientists alike, but the Cold War climate infused a new urgency into Antarctic expeditions. In this icy realm, whispers of hidden threats and forgotten secrets mingled with scientific curiosity, creating a backdrop ripe for intrigue and speculation. Captain Halka and his whaling ship, the Juliana, were engaged in a seemingly mundane pursuit hunting for whales. The ship and its crew had journeyed from their native Iceland to the frigid waters around the Antarctic Peninsula, a place where perpetual daylight during the polar summer both illuminated their search and added to their fatigue. The unending daylight, while advantageous for spotting whale pods, took a toll on the crew's ability to maintain a normal sleep cycle. The crew, exposed to the constant light, became weary and sleep-deprived, their once sharp reflexes dulled by the endless days. The isolation of the Antarctic environment also compounded the stress. The expanse of ice and the ceaseless sun created a disorienting effect that made navigation challenging and heightened the psychological strain on the crew. Captain Halka, grappling with the difficulties of this expedition, often retreated to his cabin to pore over maps and charts, hoping that a solution to their predicament might present itself. One fateful morning, while Halka was immersed in his charts, he was abruptly disturbed by a commotion on deck. The crew had spotted a vessel off their starboard side, a German Kriegsmarine U-boat. The sight was jarring. Although the war had ended 2 years prior, the presence of a German submarine in these remote waters was unexpected and unsettling. Stories had circulated about German U-boats that had either failed to receive or chose to ignore the surrender orders. To see one now, in the Antarctic, suggested either a ghost from the past or something more ominous. The German U-boat, sleek and menacing, approached the Juliana with a chilling efficiency. As the submarine drew near, the crew of the Juliana stood on deck, their expressions a mix of confusion and apprehension. They watched as the U-boat's deck gun was trained on their ship. The situation was tense and fraught with uncertainty. The German sailors boarded the Juliana with a sense of purpose and authority. Captain Halka, faced with the reality of his precarious situation, had no choice but to comply with their demands. With no weapons on board to defend themselves and no other ships in sight to call for help, Halka issued orders for his crew to line up and offer no resistance. The U-boat captain, a figure in gray-green overalls, approached Halka with an air of politeness that belied the gravity of the situation. He expressed regret for the disruption caused and requested to purchase half of the remaining supplies aboard the whaling ship. Despite the courteous demeanor of the German captain, Halka sensed an underlying threat. The armed German sailors, each equipped with a pistol or carbine, were a stark reminder of the power dynamics at play. Reluctantly, Halka agreed to the proposal. He was handed a substantial roll of US dollars, a sum that seemed to be more than enough to cover the requested supplies. The captain also made sure that Halka's crew would receive a bonus for their cooperation. The transaction, while ostensibly benign, carried an undercurrent of intimidation. Before leaving, the U-boat captain made a peculiar request. He asked Halka to provide a chart from his cabin. On the chart, he marked a location not far from their current position, indicating it as a site where a large school of humpback whales could be found. With a polite salute, the captain and his crew departed, leaving the Juliana and its crew in stunned silence. The enigmatic encounter with the German submarine was but a prelude to a broader and more significant expedition that would unfold in the icy reaches of Antarctica. On December 2, 1946, a formidable flotilla of U.S. naval ships set sail from the naval base in Norfolk, Virginia, embarking on what would become one of the most ambitious Antarctic missions ever undertaken. This operation, designated as Operation High Jump, was led by Rear Admiral Richard E. Byrd, Jr., a seasoned polar explorer with a wealth of experience in Antarctic expeditions. The task force comprised 13 vessels, including the aircraft carrier USS Philippine Sea and the destroyers USS Henderson and USS Brownson. The mission was a complex mix of military drills and scientific experiments, reflecting the dual objectives of showcasing naval power and advancing scientific knowledge in one of the most inhospitable environments on Earth. Upon arriving at their destination, the task force immediately commenced extensive photo reconnaissance operations. The goal was to survey and map the Antarctic region, gaining valuable data on the ice-covered continent. However, just weeks into the mission, the fleet was abruptly recalled. Reports of dangerous weather conditions and other unforeseen challenges prompted an early withdrawal. The conclusion of Operation High Jump was met with speculation and intrigue. As the ships returned to their home ports, rumors began to circulate about what had truly transpired in the icy depths of Antarctica. Newspaper articles in the Chilean media reported that the U.S. fleet had been attacked by unidentified flying craft, leading to heavy casualties and forcing the Americans to retreat. The stories were sensational, capturing the imagination of the public and fueling a wave of speculation. The speculation surrounding Operation High Jump was further fueled by comments made by Rear Admiral Byrd during a television interview about the mission. Byrd made several significant remarks about the need for America to prepare for potential future attacks that might come from Antarctica. He specifically referenced the possibility of aircraft launching attacks from the South Pole and suggested that the United States could no longer rely on its geographic distance from hostile nations as a safeguard. These comments were interpreted by some as evidence of a hidden threat in Antarctica, adding to the growing mystique surrounding the mission. Byrd's statements seemed to imply that there was something in the Antarctic region that warranted serious concern. The notion that the South Pole could be a potential launch point for future attacks created an air of mystery and anxiety. In response to the growing speculation and rumors, a follow-up mission was authorized. This secondary operation, codenamed Operation Windmill, was conducted in early 1948 and concluded in April of the same year. Despite the additional efforts, American interest in the Antarctic region appeared to wane, and the focus shifted away from the icy continent for over a decade. The narrative of American interest in Antarctica did not end with Operation Windmill. In the early 1960s, the United States detonated 3 nuclear devices in the Antarctic region. The purpose of these tests was to study the effects of high-altitude nuclear explosions on the Earth's upper atmosphere. The decision to conduct nuclear tests in such a remote and frigid location added another layer of complexity to the story of Antarctica's post-war significance. The nuclear tests in Antarctica were part of a broader set of Cold War-era activities that aimed to understand and assess the impact of nuclear explosions on various environmental factors. The choice of Antarctica as a test site was driven by its isolation and the need for a location that would minimize potential fallout and contamination. The intrigue surrounding Antarctica was further intensified by the publication in 1991 of a Soviet-era intelligence report. This document, compiled from transcripts of interviews between KGB agents and a handful of U.S. sailors involved in Operation High Jump, presented a dramatically different perspective on the mission. According to the report, the American fleet had been attacked and driven away from Antarctica by an unknown hostile power. The Soviet report described a series of encounters between the U.S. ships and unidentified flying craft. These craft, described as saucer-shaped, reportedly engaged in hostile maneuvers and retaliated with advanced weaponry. The American destroyers, including the USS Brownson, were said to have come under intense attack, leading to significant damage and casualties. Witnesses claimed that the mysterious craft operated with incredible speed and maneuverability, rendering American defenses ineffective. The report detailed how the USS Brownson opened fire on the attackers, but the results were inconclusive. The American fleet, realizing it was outmatched, began a hasty retreat, all the while being harassed by the unidentified forces. The Soviet intelligence report, with its sensational claims, was met with both fascination and skepticism. Conspiracy theorists quickly seized upon the document as evidence of extraterrestrial life, or the survival of Nazi forces using advanced technology. Some even proposed that the Nazis had combined their technology with alien technology to establish a hidden Fourth Reich beneath the Antarctic ice. However, a closer examination of the report reveals several inconsistencies and discrepancies that undermine its credibility. For instance, the report references the USS Casablanca, an aircraft carrier that did not participate in Operation Highjump. Additionally, the USS Maddox, mentioned in the document, was not present during the mission. Furthermore, official records from Operation Highjump indicate that the mission resulted in only 4 fatalities. This contradicts the Soviet report's claim of massive casualties. The discrepancies in the report suggest that it may have been a product of disinformation or Cold War-era paranoia. One possibility is that the Soviet report was part of a deliberate campaign to spread misinformation and confuse the West. Such disinformation could have been used to test Western responses or to identify potential sources of leaks within the U.S. military. Despite the flaws in the Soviet report, the notion of hidden bases and advanced technology in Antarctica continues to captivate the imagination. The idea that remnants of Nazi technology or extraterrestrial forces could be hidden beneath the Antarctic ice has been a subject of speculation for decades. In 1938, a German expedition led by Alfred Richer established a base in Antarctica, known as New Schwabenland. This base was part of Hitler's broader ambition to secure a foothold in the remote regions of the world. While the outbreak of World War II curtailed further expeditions, the legacy of New Schwabenland continued to spark interest. Recent discoveries of abandoned Nazi outposts near the North Pole have added fuel to the fire of conspiracy theories. These findings have led some to believe that remnants of the Nazi regime might have continued their operations in secret locations, including Antarctica. Captain Halka's encounter with the German U-boat and the subsequent events surrounding Operation Highjump form a compelling narrative, but they are also a reminder of the broader mystery that envelops Antarctica. The story of the Juliana and its crew, along with the enigmatic German submarine, serves as a microcosm of the larger intrigue that characterizes Antarctic exploration. The true nature of the forces encountered during Operation Highjump remains shrouded in mystery. Whether driven by extraterrestrial technology, remnants of Nazi ambitions, or other unknown factors, the events of the mission left an indelible mark on the history of Antarctic exploration. As exploration of the Antarctic continent continues, scientists and researchers strive to uncover the secrets hidden beneath the ice. The challenges of this remote environment, combined with the legacy of past expeditions, ensure that the story of Antarctica is far from complete. The mysterious Antarctic expedition of Operation Highjump and the stories that have emerged from it highlight the enduring allure of the unknown. The icy expanse of Antarctica remains a place where secrets lie hidden beneath layers of ice and snow. Whether these secrets involve advanced technology, remnants of past conflicts, or entirely new discoveries, the quest to uncover them continues. As researchers and explorers press forward, they build upon the legacy of those who ventured into the unknown before them. The challenges faced by Captain Halka and the crew of the Juliana, as well as the broader narrative of Operation Highjump, serve as a testament to the enduring quest for knowledge and the relentless pursuit of answers. In the end, the story of Antarctica is one of both exploration and enigma. As long as the continent remains largely unexplored and remote, it will continue to inspire curiosity and wonder. The hidden truths of Antarctica, whether they be related to advanced technologies or otherworldly phenomena, remain waiting to be unveiled by future generations of explorers and scientists.